Welcome back to Buckets and Banter. My guest today is someone who's experienced Indian basketball from almost every single angle: grassroots, national championships, career altering injuries, international exposure, ownership, even, and now he's playing professionally overseas. To give more context, he competed in the UK with Bucks at St. Andrews, where he was also the finals MVP in the national championship, played in the US in minor and semi pro circuits, including the Maximum Basketball League with NYC Black Eagles, and is currently playing professionally in Thailand with CNX Orion in the Warriors League. Beyond playing, he's also building systems back home through schools, academies, and owning even Mumbai Snipers in the Krisala ABC Pro Basketball League, focused on creating real pathways for the next generation. And this episode isn't about where he's played, it's about what he's learned along the way, and which makes this episode perfect for us to talk about structure, league, and just the business of basketball from a player who's lived the consequences of not having a structure in basketball. So, Vijay, welcome to Buckets and Banter. It's lovely, lovely having you on here.
Thank you, Joseph. Awesome to be here. Thank you so much. You nailed that introduction. Definitely the best
Ah,
introduction I've
thank you
had
so
so
much.
far. You got all the details and more. But yeah, no, awesome to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
No, that's good to hear. Just for clarity of the viewers, this is the second time I did the introduction because the first time I was like, "Oh, is everything okay? Is the video quality
Yeah.
okay?" But everything's good, and we're on with the podcast. Welcome to Buckets and Banter, guys, where we talk to people about sports. First thing I want to talk to you about is I did a little bit of research on you. That means you were probably the one of the first guests that I had where I had content to look through on the internet, which
All
was
right.
fun
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
now I
I'm
had
glad.
like, okay, I can go off of this, I can go off of this, right?
Yeah.
So in both the podcasts that you had previously attended, you mentioned why you passionately fell in love with basketball, and that reason was none other than being lonely, right? You
Absolutely.
felt left out, yeah. So
Absolutely.
I want to get into that as well, and just give me why you started basketball because of that.
Yeah, it's funny. I literally retold this story to someone today who I had lunch with. But yeah, so I used to play football initially, like most kids did in
Yeah,
school. And
yeah,
the days I had football practice, my friends did not have basketball practice. So the days
okay,
that they had basketball practice, I didn't have football. So that meant I
okay,
was lonely on the bus, which I did enjoy. I
okay,
realized first thing in the morning because I didn't enjoy going to school as a kid, as most kids.
yeah,
And I was like, you
of
know what? If
course,
I have to go anyways, I should probably get some friends along the way. And back then, my school
yeah,
used to allow us to play as many sports as possible. So then I decided to try basketball. And ever since then, I've kind of stuck with it. And I'm glad my friends ditched me and I was lonely because I would never be the same
nice.
otherwise.
So in terms of that, so you started basketball maybe not in the most passionate way possible, like not the most story
No,
like
absolutely
I
not. Yeah.
I threw the ball up and I fell in love with the sport and I could not think otherwise. So when was that? What was that moment for you where it stopped being the reason for playing basketball stopped being your friends, but for yourself and something that you actually needed in your life and you felt connected to that sport?
I think that's a great question because there's so many instances that you can, differently think of when you were
Yeah.
younger. But I think one thing that really stuck with me was after, well, I would say pretty late, like at least in like the late 10th, early 11th grade, where, we had balls, we had ICSE throughout that prep, you're just studying, studying, studying. And
Yeah.
the only break I really enjoyed from the studying was basketball. And it was
Okay.
starting to also become my identity where I'm like, oh, Vijay is really good at basketball. And I'm like, you know what? I actually enjoy this because it's something
Yeah.
that's just not like purely based on grades or even necessarily performance. It's something I enjoy doing. It allows me to escape and shut out everything in the world. And I like that the
Yeah.
person is turning me into because that's where I guess, some form of discipline started to come about. So I think 10th,
Okay.
11th grade really was that turning point where I enjoyed playing. It allowed me to escape. And when I started getting, really good at it back in India, it was just a great feeling. It's unbeatable seeing your hard work actually showing. So that I think
Yeah.
that was probably the biggest turning point. Because before it was just fun games, you get to skip school when you have games. But aside from
Yeah.
that, yeah, that's why I really felt like, what, maybe if I stick with this for a while, I might be able to do something with it.
For me, when I play basketball, I like to think of myself as an entertainer as well because
Yeah,
I've been
for
following
sure.
Steph Curry my entire life. Are you an entertainer on the court? Are there possessions where you specifically are like, you know what, this is going to get the crowd going?
Honestly, I would have to say yes and no. Because I'll tell you, I'm quite
Okay.
boring that way. I don't talk trash.
Okay.
I'm like a guy you would enjoy playing against only in the sense that I love talking to people on the court and I love hearing everyone's unique story. So even literally
Yeah.
on Sunday, I was talking to a guy and he was telling me how he's from a little town in Ohio in America, and like I enjoy competing, but I also enjoy getting to know the people because bro, I've met people from all different walks of life. So I think that way I'm pretty boring,
Yeah.
and my friends are like, "Why are you talking to your opponents?" I'm like, "Dude, no, like I enjoy interacting with people, so it's a great way to
Yeah.
meet people." But yeah, dude, I mean, every time
Yeah.
I hit a tough three, or specifically if I hit a and one three, then I know then I go
Yeah.
crazy. Like I'm just like screaming, throwing shit, and then everyone goes crazy. I would have to say an and one three is probably like top tier serotonin boost, nothing like it ever.
Yeah. And have you had that poster dunk moment till now, or a dunk moment where you're like,
Absolutely, I'm not even at my dunk moment yet, man. But I'm wait like that's I feel like that is like that's like a rite of passage. Like I don't
yeah,
want to quit basketball until I dunk on somebody. I don't care if it's an open gym, like there's some
yeah.
old uncle. If it's recorded and I dunk on someone, I could die the next day being like, you know what? Part of my life is complete. I dunked on someone.
Dude, I have these moments where before every pre-game, you know how you have those pre-game
Yeah, yeah,
thoughts that
yeah,
you're like, okay, I'm going to score
yeah,
40 points today,
yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I get the ball on the right wing, I
yeah,
drive from my left,
yeah,
go right left, 2 foot
yeah,
jump, take it with my right hand, and just
yeah.
left hand
Just
to just
duck
push
it.
the player down, get a little bit more
Yeah,
elevation because I'm taking that
yeah.
support and just dunking around that person. And I've already practiced what celebrate. Like my celebration is going to be, I'm just going to like shouting. I'm like, ah. I
As
think
you
that's going to
should,
be a
man.
moment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's like, yeah, dude, that's really a moment. It's like hitting your first game winner or like,
Yeah.
hitting like a crazy tough shot. You're just like, yeah, like this just hits different. So yeah, hopefully by the time this comes out, I have dunked at least in game or, dunked on someone is a
Yeah.
far-fetched dream, but hopefully.
It should be close. A little bit of plyometrics and you're there. You're there.
Yeah, I just need to do
Little,
it, man. So I like I'm not gonna lie, I've reached a point where I just need to do it. But again, like that
yeah.
perfect setting, like, I have to be on a fast break. For me, I have to be going from my left side to my right because I'm going off one anyways. So left to right and
Yeah.
then cock it back and but again, perfect situation and all that. In that, yeah, that's I don't know when that's gonna come, but yeah, hopefully.
We'll hope so. Welcome back to the rapid fire round of Buckets and Banter. And today we have Vijay, and Vijay is going to answer questions quickly so that we get some juiciness from those answers. And let's see, Vijay has played professionally 5v5 and 3x3. So first question, which one, 5v5 or 3x3?
Shit, that's a
What's
hard
the
question.
format?
3x3.
3x3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I want to dive deep into that, but it's a rapid fire round, so we will not
Yeah.
dive deep into that. Best basketball city you've played in?
Oh, New York.
New York. Fair enough, man. That's the mecca. That's the
Yeah.
mecca for basketball. One habit that separates pros from everyone else.
Consistency. In the smallest of things.
Consistency.
In
All
the
right.
smallest of things.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Okay. And the best shooter you've played with in India
Oh.
and outside. Both
In
examples.
India? In India?
Yeah.
In India,
Yeah.
that's a tough one, man. Wow. Because I would have said myself, I'm not gonna lie, I would totally say
Yeah.
myself. But to play
Yeah.
with, like we're on the same team, okay, then I
Yeah.
kind of have to put Dhruv there. I'll put Dhruv, Sushil Barman. Shout out to my boy Dhruv.
Yeah.
Play with.
Drew's
Yeah,
the
that was-
shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
I also
outside?
Drew set me up. Like Drew's the kind of shooter. If he attracts, he'll kick it out to me because we have that trust. Outside, who I've played with, oof. See, you're pretty tough spot because I'm always the one shooting the ball. But
Yeah.
I would have to say my teammate from the Black Eagles, Roman Perez. Like at like again, he's played all over the world, and at his age, I hope I'm shooting that well. Like he just I've seen that guy go 4 for 4 at least 100 times.
Yeah. So shout out to Drew
Yeah.
and Roman.
Yes.
Hardest defender you've faced in India?
Oh, listen, I'm not playing in India that much, man. You're making it tough for me to answer these questions. But no, I'll answer. I think I'll shout out
Yeah.
one of like my old competitors from like back in the school days. I would have to
Okay.
say it was my captain in school. His name's Kushish. Shout out to him. He was the heart. I
Shout
could
out to
never
Krishna.
like. I was only better than him, So yeah, shout out to Kushish.
And the last question is one myth about playing abroad that Indians get wrong.
That Indians can't play.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, and Vijay is right there breaking those stereotypes as well. Uh, Thank you for that. And I'm also there. I'm also breaking those
You're
stereotypes.
also there,
Well,
man. Come on, no?
yeah.
NBL
I'm
D1
gonna keep
first
forgetting.
Indian. First Indian NBL D1, man. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Let the streets never
Let's
forget.
not forget. Yes. Thanks, man. And with that, we go back into the episode. But in terms of, so we established that you love basketball. Okay.
Yeah.
You played basketball in India, which we'll get into eventually.
Yep.
But something that you did do, you moved on from India and then you did your bachelor's in St. Andrews,
Yes.
and you played for St. Andrews team. So you played in the Bucks,
Yep.
and that's when you actually won a championship as well. You were the finals MVP, right?
Yes.
Tell me about what was the first thing that you kind of learned when you shifted from the Indian basketball system to playing in the Bucks? Like, what was the biggest difference that viewers here who are watching
One
you, who
thing.
have like Indian followers?
One thing that
Yeah.
even now I see pros mess up. I don't care if Steph Curry's in the corner. You have to step up and help. You can't
Yeah.
not step up. I don't care if Klay Thompson, Steph Curry's in the corner. If the man in front of you gets beat, you have to step
Yeah.
up to help. Help
Yeah.
defense is not something we learn in India. Dude, let me tell you,
Yeah.
my first Bucks game where playing man, my guard, well, shout out to my guard, Ryan, he's getting smoked by this one Scottish kid. And like the scouting
Okay.
report was, this kid's gonna drop 20 regardless. Let him drop 20 and let the others get mad at him, right? He has
Yeah.
scored 8 in the first 2 minutes. And my coach is like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm stuck to my man. What do you want me to do? He's like, start helping. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that's a concept. Yeah.
But
Always
how do you?
step up and help.
So in terms of helping, like help defense, there's also like once you help in defense, the other man needs to once again
Absolutely.
rotate.
Yeah.
There needs to be a
Exactly.
complete circle of rotation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that is something. So why do you think that India never really, like when you played in India, why you never got that concept? Is there a reason?
It's still a big problem right now. Communication.
Yeah.
How many guards do you see in India? And I'm not talking about directing traffic. Guards can talk on offense. How many guards do you see talking while defending? There's no one. They just
Yeah.
yell
No
they
one.
just
Yeah.
yell in their zone. And I think more than the guards, the people down at the bottom, if you're under the basket and you see everyone, you have to direct traffic. You have the most important job being under the basket. And if you are
Yeah.
silent, you're going to get burnt every single time. Indians don't communicate. Even in senior nationals, no one is talking. Like, I'm just yelling the whole time. It's a habit I picked up from my American teammate. He's like, why can't I hear you? I'm like, bro, like, I just, I don't sit in here. He's like, no, like, I need to hear you on every possession. And now that's so ingrained in
Yeah.
me that I do it here. The second I'm on the floor, if we're in man, I'm just like, everyone call out your man. I have this one. And you have to hold everyone accountable, especially as a guard. We are not taught to communicate, and it shows. And that's like, again, it's one of those things that communication would be as important as helping on, stepping up in the help defense. You have to communicate,
Yeah.
otherwise you're going to get killed every single time. And our coaches just don't teach us.
So explain to me what communication means on the court. So there'll be a lot of basketball players
Absolutely.
or aspiring basketball players who are
Yeah.
watching this episode as well.
Yeah.
So what is like for me as well? I've got stepped into courts. Like obviously, like in India, there was no communication, right? I was just playing my game. I'm like, pass me the ball. That's it. That's it. Right? Like if I'm now when I realize when I come here on defense, I'm like, I got ball.
Yeah.
Even though I know everybody knows that I got ball.
Yeah,
I'm still
it's just better
shouting
to
that
let them
10
know.
times repeatedly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
I
like,
think-
what is communication here? Explain to me.
Dude, communication, I think you will see two things. Firstly, is that you have to be aware of everything that is happening. And by everything, I mean not your man. You need to be aware of the man on your right and what he's going to possibly do. If you bet beat, what's going to happen? You have to be aware of everything that's happening around you. And secondly, you have to make sure you're on the same page as your teammates. You all have to be communicating the same way. So if you are yelling, I have the ball, your teammate at help is going to say, yes, I'm on your right side help. The other guy is going to say, I'm on your left side help. So these two things where you have to be completely aware of the situation, and your teammates also have to be on the same page where all of you all can work cohesively. Because like you said in help, if you get beat, Joseph, your teammate is going to step up and help you, and you are immediately going to go to his man who is now open. And that's because you guys are on the same page. You have clear communication where I trust Joseph that if Joseph gets beat, I'll step up, he'll get my man. That's the blind faith I have in him as a teammate. That is what I mean by
Yeah.
communication, self-awareness, and also everyone else being on the same page about what's happening.
Okay. That's cool. So that means there's a clear explanation of what communication means, and I hope people actually take something away from it because I have been in teams where people don't communicate. Sometimes even in my team, there are moments where during the game we're just like stop communicating, and that's where things start to fall apart because now we don't
Yeah.
know where a screen is coming from, where are we leading the defender? Okay, because generally we're always like get them to the sidelines, get them to
Give
the
them
baselines,
baseline.
don't
Yeah, don't
don't
send
give
them
them
middle.
middle, don't give them
Yeah,
middle. So that's the basic concept of it. But like if you're not communicating, things just fall apart,
things just
right?
fall apart. Yeah.
So so you started playing Bucks, you played with St. Andrews, and you won the national championship, which must have been a very good high. How did you feel when you won it?
Oh, that was one of the longest nights of my life, but it was amazing for
Okay.
all the right reasons. Yeah. Dude, that
Okay.
for me, honestly, dude, that was mentally one of the toughest games I've played in my life until now. Because fun fact, when I got to St. Andrews, I had tendonitis in my knees from before. So I took some
Okay.
time off and I didn't recover. I didn't do enough physio stuff because I was still young, I could like play 6 days a week and I'll be fine. I was like 18,
Yeah.
19 at the time. When I came to St. Andrews, third day of preseason, both my knees started hurting. Earlier used to be my left knee, then it became both.
Okay.
And I still wasn't on the team because it's preseason. They're like, okay, you come, we'll see what you have. So, dude, you could ask any of my teammates during preseason, man. I would come, I'd warm up, I'd play, I'd shoot, get in some layups. After practice, I would sit with two massive bags of ice on my knees for half an hour and not move. And I did that for 6 months. And the funniest
Yeah.
part is, it's all going to add up. But my tendonitis
Yeah.
only went when I got COVID. Because
Oh.
my tendonitis became tendinopathy because that's how bad it got. Okay. And then in COVID, I couldn't do anything for 2 weeks. So I sat on my
Yeah.
ass. So COVID cured my knee problem. I mean, those the shorter knee problems because I couldn't do anything. And that literally taught me to sometimes absolutely calm down and rest. But I mean, I was
Yeah.
young. I had shit to prove in St. Andrews. And then after that, after my knees got fine, I started running into a similar problem with my Achilles. Okay. And
Yeah.
my foot started hurting. And then especially in my Achilles, so I went to the physio and he showed me how my feet were actually, this sounds weird, but wrong. I don't have flat feet, but my left foot didn't have an arch and I still jump with my left foot. So because I was
Okay.
using only one part of my foot, there was more
Yeah.
pressure coming on one tendon instead of two. So because of that, it would hurt every time I jumped. And this was a week before our cup championship. And then I'm like, okay,
Okay.
shit, like, what do I do? And he's just like, actually, this is really bad advice, but whoever's listening to this, do not do what I did. It's a short-term fix to a longer problem, which I will talk about, but do not do what I did. He said you have two options. Either you don't play or you sit at home for 1 week, take three Paris, not Paris. What's the painkiller called in this thing, man, in the UK? I keep forgetting. The painkiller you can buy over the
Ibuprofen?
counter. Yeah, ibuprofen. He's like, you can take three
Yeah.
ibuprofens a day and you'll be fine. I did that
Yeah.
for 1 week. He was right. Bro, I barely left my room. I left my room to walk to the kitchen, cook and come back. And I told my coach, I'm not making any practices. He's like, okay, your playing time will be cut. I was
Yeah.
like, fair enough, fine. Okay. I have knocked down three of those without fail every single day for a week. On the day,
Okay.
I have smelled like a new person. Absolutely zero pain. But my minutes are cut, okay? So, like, first
Yeah.
half, I actually don't make a single shot. And then I'm still, like, super worked up. And I was like, oh, my foot is fine. My foot is fine. Second half, I come in and I hit straight 3 threes in a row. And then I'm just going off the whole game, okay? And the craziest
Okay.
part is, I'm not, and this was a very good team win, dude. We won like 83 to like 50 something, but it was a very good team win. Like I had a couple of
Yeah.
threes, like the guy who started over me, he did really well. So I'm just like, cool, I've had a great game. We've won the cup. St. Andrews has never won anything before this either, right? So it's our first time winning, and the bleachers are out for
Yeah.
this game. It's a big deal, it's like a big Bucks Wednesday. My friends are in the crowd. And then when they announced and like finals MVP, I wasn't even thinking of my name, and that's what made it better. The second they said my name, I was like, oh shit, like what is happening? This is not real. And then even the guy who
Yeah.
gave me the award, he just like, I gave it to you because you hit the three over there, big man, which I didn't expect you to do. And I was like, heat check, had to. And then, just amazing night because I didn't expect to win MVP. I had a terrible week. And then, man,
Yeah.
that was generally one of the best highs I've had of my life because for me, it was up until all the work that went into, getting to St. Andrews, being there, and then winning. So, yeah, definitely, without a doubt, one of the best nights of my life. I still rewatch the videos of like partying after the winning, getting announced MVP because that feeling is still there of like, shit, like, I was finals MVP. And the craziest
Yeah.
part is I tore my ACL 5 days later, but we can get into that later.
Ah,
But yeah, but that high,
yeah.
dude, that high was genuinely like, it's like one of the most satisfying feelings of my life by far.
But so you tore your ACL 5 days later,
Yeah.
and h- dude, how did you go through that process, man? Like it's
Dude, that
difficult
was
because
like,
injuries are just
yeah. And up until this point, dude, so I got to St. Andrews in end of August for preseason. From
okay.
September to following year, March, I have been injured the entire time, fighting my knee problems and then my Achilles problems. And honestly, and now I say this without a doubt, the ACL is the best injury that could have happened to me. It's the worst, but it's the best. Because after my
Yeah.
ACL, guess what? I had to rest. So my Achilles also
Yeah.
became fine, right? So the ACL really gave me time to rethink what I'm doing, whether I want to
Yeah.
continue doing it firstly. And if I'm going
Hmm.
to do this, how I need to change a lot of things about myself. And
Okay.
honestly, dude, I would describe my ACL as like a really bad sugar crash. Because 5 days before I won MVP, I'm like on this crazy high, and then after that, suddenly, boom, crash, done.
Scratch.
Like I'm fully crashed. Like what has happened? Like I regret having all that sugar. And yeah,
Yeah.
man, it was mentally one of the toughest periods of my life, without a doubt. But again, I'm so
Yeah.
grateful because it happened when I was 20, man. Like tearing your ACL at 20 really shapes you in ways you would not expect. And it feels like,
So
dude, it was 4 years ago, man. Yeah.
what are the three things that you changed completely about how you take up training and basketball, and just
Dude.
how do you mentally prepare for games?
Oh, dude. So honestly, the first thing, this sounds crazy, the most important thing was recovery and still is.
Yeah.
Recovery, I would say I recover harder than I train. Like I take my recovery to the absolute next level, and I can't tell you the things I do. Like I wear this ring which tracks everything, including my sleep, my heart rate. I check my resting heart rate every single day. I try to make sure it's low. I wear blue light glasses
Okay.
an hour before I sleep. I obviously sleep at least 9 hours, 8.5 hours minimum. And obviously
Okay.
eating clean all the time. Like my recovery process, ice baths as often as I can, cold plunging, whatever it may be. My recovery has never been better, and I have just I've fine-tuned my body to a way of 2 days I will get rest, and in those 2 days I will maximize what I'm doing to make sure I'm recovering at my absolute best. And that's
Okay.
exactly what it taught me to do. Take more time off and learn how to recover. Because so many people go to the gym. You know what? Soreness isn't always good. Soreness is good. You push yourself, but you also need that soreness to go away to go into your next set or your next week. So yeah,
Yeah.
recovery is the most important thing I learned to really take care of myself. Without fail, I will take 2 rest days a week. Even if my team's not
Nice.
okay with it, I say no, I need it because I know what my
Yeah.
body's capable of. I can do 4 double sessions a week, maybe 5, but I need 2 days off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So recovery will be the
And that's
first.
good.
Yeah, do you need it? Like, trust me, I learned the
Yeah.
hard way, but it was the best way to learn.
And what about sleep? How are you on your sleep?
Dude, I'm amazing. Like, I can't lie to you. I can send you like my reports. I love showing off my reports to everyone. Like everything is
Okay.
green. Everything I wake up, man. Like I sleep really well. And the
How many
biggest
hours? How
thing,
many hours a night?
oh, minimum 9, dude. Minimum 9. Bro, I would
Oh,
rather sleep.
lovely.
Dude, listen, I would much rather sleep than do a lot of things. Like, and my friends know
Yeah.
this. I would much rather sleep than go out. I would much rather sleep than party. I would much rather sleep than even potentially hang with some friends. And then, yeah, because,
Yeah.
dude, it's so important. I don't think people realize the importance of a good night's sleep. And it's not something that you can do just over the weekend. You need to do it every single day. And it's just going to help you overall with your lifestyle, even if you're not a high performance athlete. It doesn't matter. It's just
Yeah.
think about it, man. How many times have you slept and been like, shit, I should have slept more. I feel like I can sleep more. It's like, it's always good for you.
Yeah. And the thing is, as a professional player, as you're a professional player, and I
Yeah.
also play at a high level, I would say, uh, a
Yes,
lot
you
of
do.
people, a lot of my friends, they're like, dude, you're sacrificing so much. How are you enjoying life? Like, what are you not? You're not going out. You're not drinking. You're not doing this. You're not doing
Yeah,
that. And I'm like, I'm very happy with just sleeping, eating,
exactly.
and playing basketball
Yeah,
and just
man.
working.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that. And a lot of
yeah.
people find it difficult to understand that, but that's like it's honestly not a sacrifice for me, and I don't think it's a sacrifice for you as well. From what you're
Not at
saying,
all.
it's
Yeah,
more of a way of living at this point.
yeah. It's lifestyle. This is my lifestyle. This is my lifestyle. Take it or leave it.
Exactly.
Like if you
Which
don't
is
agree with
which
it,
is
if you don't get along, it's fine. Like we don't have to be friends, but you gotta understand what I'm trying to do.
yeah, which is great because people need to understand to reach a certain level, you need to have a certain discipline in your lifestyle.
Yeah,
And I think professional basketball players have a certain amount of discipline that cannot be compared to
Absolutely.
a professional
Yeah.
job or like just like a desk job kind of discipline,
Absolutely not.
because
Yeah.
everything
I
requires a
agree.
certain amount of discipline,
Yeah.
but it just pulls apart.
I
And
completely agree.
from that, I actually want to segue into something which talks about structure, right?
All right. Let's get
And
into it.
Indian basketball right now is at a very interesting crossroad, I would say.
Yeah.
Over the last few years, we've seen what happens when sports grow without structure. The
Yes,
prime
sir.
example would be football, which is the second biggest sport in the
ISL.
country, I would say. ISL
Yeah,
has
that's right.
struggled at the league level, not because there's no talent, not because fans are not there, but because sustainability, control, and long-term planning was not in aligned. And that's where the conversation around Indian Basketball League feels different. For the first time, we're not talking about just like we're going for a senior national tournament, right? Like a 10-day tournament. We're talking about an ecosystem that creates a lot of different opportunities. A league that
Yeah.
men and women's basketball, a clear pathway for
Yep.
young players to feed into the senior teams, a high performance center with international coaches, with long term players, and a commercial model that is, at least on paper, is talking about sponsorships, media rights, and being sustainable for the longer run, right? And it's also a top down approach where the federation owns 100%, a lot of other things like that. There's
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Yeah.
And I don't think that just a league fixes everything overnight, right? I don't believe
That's
that.
right. I agree.
Talent already exists, hunger
Yeah.
exists. So you've seen India without basketball league. So the real
Yeah.
question for me is, does this kind of structure give players something that they've never really had before, which is consistency, visibility, and which leads them to somewhere?
I think before answering that question, let's not forget that there have been leagues before, and the
Yes.
state of India basketball hasn't really changed. Nothing against the
Okay.
leagues that have come or however they've been, but let's not forget there have been leagues in the past. And I think
True.
the biggest thing that we do lack as Indians in basketball is opportunity. It always has been. So
Yeah.
I'm never against starting a league. I fully agree there should be a league, even if the players don't get paid a lot. We need to be playing more basketball. That's the most
Yeah.
important thing. I'm always going to be hopeful. I hope there's better stuff in the future. But again, to answer your question in short, I don't think only having a league solves all the problems. Because I think there's
Yeah.
enough sports and league, even basketball leagues in the world where the league can be great. That doesn't mean the national team is any good. And I think that's
Yeah.
where our problems start, man. Because if we notice there's a very clear trend in Indian basketball, the success of Indian basketball as of now purely depends on the Indian national team. And
True.
our performances haven't been amazing. It's always good to see them get a few wins here and there. But because we don't have a league, all our eggs are in the national team's basket. And if they don't perform, which they haven't been realistically over the past few years, the sport suffers. So yes, the league would be good, but I think again, come back to what we want to cover. The structure is everything, man. We need imports. We need solid foreign imports who are going to force us to elevate ourselves and kind of be like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what we lack, and we really need to push forward. So structure, and I think one thing that I do want to add what you said about ISL, everything that you said is absolutely correct, but the word I would just say is execution. So
Okay.
those are the two things that are going to help the Indian basketball league structure and how we execute it. Because those are two things that
Yeah.
can absolutely be, messed up and then we can have an ISL level situation. But I think
Yeah.
structure and execution will be the two most important things in my eyes at least.
Okay. And outside of just the structure and the execution, what is something that people like? Because you also did sports management at NYU,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you understand the business side, and you will get into other things that you're involved with in Indian basketball.
For sure.
What are the other things that people don't understand goes around and revolves around just operating a league? Like, how do
Dude,
you make a league successful? What's
the,
the
mo-
solution like?
the the one really important term I have learned, and specifically in a class of mine, it was a sports event management class. He's like the number
Okay.
one thing in this class. He's like, I don't care if you don't attend, I don't care if you don't pay attention. One thing you have to learn is one answer you gotta have in any business, not just sports. Where is your revenue coming from? He said, what's the number one thing in
Yeah.
class? We said it every single class for 14 weeks. Answer is revenue. The answer will
Yeah.
always be revenue. Because as an investor, you're not putting in money until you see some return. There has to be a
Yeah.
clear revenue stream for everyone involved, not just the league. And if
Yeah.
that's not clear, well, then absolutely no incentive to put in money. And that can be done through so
Yeah.
many ways. I'm not saying do it off ticket sales. It can purely be done through having like sponsorships or even having a central pool where all the sponsorships come in and get divided like IPL between the league and the team owners. So if there's
Yeah.
no guaranteed revenue, I mean, why would the league exist? So I would say now as a sports management student, I would say revenue. As a
Okay.
basketball player, I would probably say make a great product, but ignore that. The sports management student is correct. Revenue is always the number
Yeah.
one answer.
Revenue in a world which functions are all around business and money.
Yeah,
You're gonna make the money because that's basically what happened with ISL, right? Like investors
yeah,
start backing out
yeah.
because they could not see any returns,
There's no
and
returns. Yeah.
AIFF, yeah, and AIFF is also not really. They wanted majority seats, veto power, where for what
For what?
exactly?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not holding on to an amazing product. I mean, if you want to
Yeah,
have leverage power, you got to have leverage over something amazing.
yeah. So, well, at least for our benefit, BFI already holds 100% power,
Yeah.
and ACG supports them with everything else, which is good. So that now there's no clash of power,
There's
which
no clash.
hopefully does not come into the picture
Hopefully.
later along the lines. Uh, but just now that we're on the topic of business, I want to
Yep.
understand how ownerships and how teams function because I
For
play
sure.
with Greenwich Titans over here and I'm
Yeah.
involved in the business side of it as well.
Yep.
So in the UK, how clubs function is they function as an independent business where a club is allowed to make money through ticket sales, obviously, sponsorships that they have because of different programs that they have through community outreach programs, through just the reach that their games are getting, and all of those different aspects, right? So there's sponsors involved in games, which gets money into the system, and then you do camps and everything like that, right? So
Yep.
that's one way that clubs in the UK function. Now you are also the team owner of Mumbai Snipers, right? So
Yes.
what's the way that you guys like? How does a team in Maharashtra survive?
Dude. Yeah.
Like,
Very simply. Big problem is that the two main
yeah.
revenue sources are out because it's a state league. It's broken. It's in Maharashtra. Okay. So it's youth.
Okay.
It's state. It's already a big problem to raise money. So two
Yeah.
things are out. There's broadcasting rights. There's no money in the broadcast. It's a free stream. So broadcast is gone, which is the main source of revenue. Ticket sales are gone. It's free to watch. The only way that I make my money is purely through sponsorships. So I sell like all parts of my jersey, my shorts, everything. So you,
Okay.
as a team owner, even in India, I mean, I feel like at any sport, you're going to have to get money through sponsorships. So I pay for my teams every year through sponsorships. That's how I like to do it. Some team owners have a lot of money and they come in and just spend the money. They put their own logos and they have enough money
Yeah.
to give away. But I'm not at that level yet. And that's just like
Yeah.
bigger multinational corporation Shark Tank guys, who come and do that. But for me, it's like I
Yeah.
really want to build something and I want to have a long-term relationship with my sponsors. So I'm going to do it in a way where it's kind of like, hey, listen, I'm doing a kids league. You are going to help fund something that's going to be there for the long run. It's for the players. So why don't you just,
Yeah.
give me some money. I'll stick your company name. You guys can come see how happy it makes the kids feel. Because that's the only reason I repeated, man, in ABC. Because first year, luckily we won under 16 category boys and girls sport. My team won. I even got some revenue like from the winning prize. But for
Okay.
me, it's the biggest thing, man. Firstly, it's a lot of effort even to raise money for two kids teams. But it's for me, it's
Yeah.
just seeing how happy and the satisfaction these kids had, man. Because I know for a fact that I would kill for that if I was 15 or 16, man. In India, being recognized for basketball, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And like just seeing how happy it made these kids, I'm like, yeah, I'd like to come back because I would absolutely love to see them smile again. And I
Yeah.
mean, we didn't win, but the second time, but it was still really nice because like you feel valued, and that's the most important thing.
Okay.
You feel valued as a kid, and that could take you a long way in life. So yeah, that's why.
So there's definitely one aspect to it where the kids smile.
Yeah.
Outside of that, now let's talk about the business side. So like, why did your sponsor sponsor your team? So that people understand,
Yep.
like people understand what basics of sponsorship means.
Of
Like
course,
you,
yeah,
people
absolutely.
are not just paying money just because, oh, I hope you do well. Like
No,
why?
absolutely not. Yeah, why? So I mean, I think the biggest thing for me, for my sponsors who I've been able to go to, they've all been local businesses. Because my league is based in Pune. I just go to a small local business saying, hey, listen, I have around 30, 40 kids and their parents, more importantly. If you have a
Yeah.
small company which is looking to break into this market, forget about my team. We have 8 teams here, man. All these kids will
Yeah.
see your brand and then they can come use your brand. So for me, it's like how the small clubs do in the UK as well for football. You go to your
Yeah.
local businesses to try to get their foot into the door for this different kind of community that exists within the parents and the kids and try to push and promote a product which is actually useful to both the parents and the people who are
Yeah.
actually pushing it. So for example, one company that has been sponsoring me throughout is it's a smart board company in the sense that schools, they have like smart tech. So it's basically for
Yeah.
that. Because a bunch of
Okay.
schools also own teams in the ABC League. So
Yeah.
I was able to even get them introductions to like these ABC team owners and be like, hey, we have this really cool panel. Could we at least come and present to you? So that's their foot in
Yeah.
it all. So it has to be mutually beneficial to all the parties involved. And yeah, man, it's just you have to benefit and so do they. Otherwise, it's just a blank check and it's kind of like, what's the point otherwise?
Yeah. Well, I hope people understand that there's so much more. Like the reason for my podcast, why I keep mentioning the business side as well, is so that people understand that there's so much more than just playing. That
Oh, of
there is
course.
not just
Of
playing the
course.
sport. There's so many different aspects to the sport, which makes the
Absolutely.
sport become big. Like you
Yeah.
can't imagine why is NBA big just because Steph Curry is great? No,
No.
Steph Curry became great because they were able to create a product for the league which everybody enjoyed.
Everybody
And
plays.
now he
Absolutely.
becomes top marksman. He becomes the
Yep.
flagship product
Yep.
where Steph Curry is like, okay, the greatest shooter of all time, the greatest
Yeah.
entertainer of all time, and that's where he gets the money as a player, right? So there
Yep.
are so many different aspects to it, which now
Absolutely.
hopefully people start to realize. And outside of that, you've played professionally. You played professionally in Thailand, right?
Yes.
Talk to me about how that opportunity came along, man.
Dude, so it's again in a very unexpected way. I was fortunate doing well in New York. My team was honestly one of the best environments I've been in. I'll always remember New York because again, I was
Okay.
the youngest player on the team. And everyone has known each other for a while here. They've all like played around the world, particularly South America, and they know each other. A lot of them even speak in Spanish, But they made me
Okay.
feel so welcome because they're like, listen, you're young, but we like you. So we're going to be really
Yeah.
nice and we're going to help you. So they really pushed
Okay.
me to be better. And the guy who runs the team actually, he has played in like name a random country, he's played there. He's one of those.
And this is
And
NYC Black Eagles, right?
this is NYC Black Eagles, yeah. So the guy who
Okay.
runs it, Roman, he's played in like bro, like literally all kinds of countries. And I was like, hey, listen, man, like this overseas thing, I really want to give it a shot. What do you recommend? He's just like, start reaching out to teams. I'll help you reach out to a bunch of people. So through mutual
Okay.
connects, I was able to reach out to a couple of players here. And then they saw my film, the NYC Black Eagle stuff, and then the team made a formal offer. So pretty much through the experience in New York, I was able to build my network and then use that to get here. And that's one thing I would recommend
Okay.
to players, even if it's not going to help you, just build your network. There's absolutely no harm. You could have a connect in the middle of nowhere and a league you could
Yeah.
never play at, but there's absolutely no harm in building that network and having that connection because it can really go along. Because if you told me a year ago I'd be in Bangkok, I would have been, no, what are you talking about? But I'm here now.
Yeah. So, but that also lies around the fact that you and I,
Yeah.
both as people, are privileged enough to, for me, play in the UK, where
Yeah.
I see structure. You got the
Sure.
chance to play in the UK, the
Yeah.
US. So
Yeah.
you were given the opportunity to see what's outside of India,
Absolutely. And
and you were
that's
given the
crucial.
opportunity to learn from that and network
Yes.
from that, right?
Absolutely.
Now, how do we tackle this scenario if you don't have that privilege to actually pack up your bags and go abroad?
Dude,
What do you think an Indian player should do?
very simply, you and me. You and me, there's enough people out there who are more than willing to help. Reach out to them. Reach out
Yeah.
to me. If you just shoot me a text on Instagram, I'll see it.
Yeah.
I would love to help people. What I'm doing in my company as well, we're taking, again, the kids who can afford it, we're taking them to an exposure trip in the US. But even if you
Okay.
can't make it, even if you can't afford to be there and you're really good, we can find a way to fund it. We can find someone to sponsor you. But I'm saying reach out to
Yeah.
the people who have been there before you because that's your best bet,
Yeah.
man. Realistically, there's only been a handful of Indians who have played overseas. I would suggest reach out to as many as you can. And
Yeah.
guess what? They will help you because I would love to see more. I've already spoken to the league guys here. I'm like, dude, if I see some really good guys in India, I'm bringing them over. You better give them a good deal. But I'm gonna bring them over,
Yeah.
I would love to see more
Yeah.
Indians. I mean, and literally as well. We're gonna get a post out it'll be out hopefully before this comes out. But there'll be a post about
Okay.
me playing in this league here. And I've told them you better caption it saying first Indian player to play in this league, but not the last, because that's what I want to see. I
Yeah.
want to see more Indians out here. Because even now, dude, my
Yeah.
opponents are like, oh shit, y'all have courts in India. And I'm like, yeah, we do. What do you think is in India? But again, I don't fully blame them, dude, because they're just like, one of my teammates
Yeah.
in St. Andrews was like, where did you learn how to shoot? And I'm like, in India. He's like, where do you all play in India? I'm like, dude, I won't lie. We only play outdoor. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Like, being in St.
Yeah.
Andrews and having an indoor court every day was an insane privilege that I got used to.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, man, it's just reach out to all the Indians who have been there before you. I'm not going to lie. I've like DM'd Amjot when I was a kid and even responded, But it's
Okay.
just like, yeah, man, don't be afraid to reach out. Just shoot your shot. Worst case, they ignore you, but at least try.
Okay, so that makes sense. So reach out to people, right? But
Yeah,
sometimes, we had a conversation before this podcast. Sometimes you
yeah,
reach out to people who you don't know, and they pose as agents and end
yeah.
up scamming you.
Scamming, big time. Yeah.
So talk to me
Dude,
about that.
bro, what I've learned, first-hand experience, and what I've discussed with a lot of my teammates, always go through the players. I would say do not go through the agents. Go through
Okay.
a player who is actually like, if I had to refer you to an agent right now, there's very few people I would send you to because I am technically not represented by any agency at the moment. But that's why I would
Yeah.
say go to the players because at the end of the day, the players are always going to be a lot more honest than the agents because the agents are there to make money. The players are just help you, there to help you.
Yeah.
So don't reach out to direct agencies. There's enough now who have still not been exposed on Instagram, but who post these crazy ads. But also just think about it for 1 second. While all these ads are, some of them are true. I won't lie. Like teams are looking for players. If you're a team looking for a player, why would you go and look at a random Instagram highlight reel? Like if you're a
Yeah.
professional team and you want to pay someone money, you're not looking in the DMs for a player. Like realistically, you're
Yeah.
not. So
Yeah.
don't fall for that trap of apply for this, pay $400 or pay $500 and you'll be considered. Anytime
Yeah.
they're asking you to pay something upfront immediately without showing you, giving you a guaranteed contract or being like, this can work out, this increases your chances, don't do it.
Okay.
And especially if like, that's why I go to the players.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
mean, that
that's
would
good to
just be
know.
our best
So
advice. Just go through the players every time. Yeah.
go to the players and just reach out to people who have been there before,
Been there before.
who've
That's,
been
I
there
mean, they're mostly
before and
players.
know
Yeah.
what, yeah, and know what they're talking about. So that's I think the best way about it. And another thing that I actually want to get into you about is that
Yeah.
because you're a shooter,
Yep.
and shooting is one of the hardest skills to master, and it's also not the most consistent skill out there
Yeah.
because probably there's one guy who does it the most consistently. That's Steph Curry, averages like four
Yeah.
three pointers a game,
Hey, man,
and
I would say Seth Curry's got a better percentage, but that's just the stats
yeah.
talking.
Okay. Maybe we'll see the end of the season results.
Yeah.
But talk to me. How do you deal with yourself during the games? Because a lot of the times you're not. The reason you don't perform well at a high level is not because of anything else but yourself and you getting inside your head. I've had these moments where I'm playing basketball games and I am thinking about 100 different things. I'm like, okay, can I do this? If I go
Yeah.
here, if I do this.
Yeah.
And later on, I just realized that just take it easy, man. Just slow
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So, like,
Dude.
what's your process like? How do you make sure that you're locked in for the game and not in 100 different places?
Honestly, over the years, it's obviously changed and been through a crazy process. Like St. Andrews, I would nap, have a cold
Okay.
shower, eat exactly half an hour before. Like, it's changed over time. But for me,
Okay.
right now, especially, the biggest thing is that I am unbelievably calm before a game. Like, you don't want to be around me before a game because, like, if you're nervous, it's the biggie. I'm just so calm because for me, it's like
Yeah.
I trust all the work I've put in. Even if I've had a shitty week, I know the months of preparation I've put in and I know it's
Yeah.
going to be fine. Even if I have a bad shooting
Okay.
day, I've worked hard. I have nothing to worry about. I'm so grateful to be still playing this game at a high competitive level. I'm just going to give it my all. It'll be my day, it won't be my day. But I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to worry about it. I know what I've done to get here. So I'm just very
Yeah.
calm. And if you about my friends are like, dude, like, why are you not nervous? We're nervous for you. I'm just like, there's nothing to be nervous about. Like, what's the point of getting in my head? And again, this is based on years of being nervous and messing up. But again, now I'm
Yeah.
just really calm, man. Like, this is gonna sound insane. I'm no longer a pre-game music kind of guy, man. I can listen to anything. And
Okay.
I kid you not, I listen to the slowest Taylor Swift songs before a game, and I'm fine. Like literally, no, for all the Swifties out there, I listen to Folklore before games. For those who don't know what
Okay.
Folklore is, it's one of her slowest albums. So I'm not listening to like Shake It Off and Love Story. I'm listening to the slowest version of Taylor there is. And
Yeah.
it just gives me peace of mind and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. I really vibe with that because I am also a person who listens to lot of slow music before games. I'm not, I don't do hip hop. I
Yeah, me
listen to
neither.
like very calming music and I'm just like, I like it. I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy with this.
Yeah, dude, me too, man. It's like nothing to worry about. Just it'll be fine.
which is nice. So the next thing, the last thing, I want we're running out of time.
Alright.
We like to keep the podcast in less than 45
No,
minutes.
I agree. I would not
Uh,
listen if it was more than 45, but yeah.
yeah. But people probably don't even reach this part of the
Yeah,
podcast,
I don't know.
which is
If
why
you've reached this
now the
part of the
conversation.
podcast, comment saying, I don't know, what should they comment? Saying, just say comment, do this sign if you get there.
Do this sign,
Do this
yeah.
sign.
Give
Do
us
this
a
sign.
okay
You made it
sign,
this far.
whatever
Give
the
us an
sign
okay 3.0, whatever you want it to be. Let us know.
is. Yeah. Lovely. So now we have some interaction between us and the people who are watching.
And
Lovely.
our viewers,
Uh,
the loyal viewers.
and our viewers, yes. But the one thing that I love doing at the end of my podcast is sort of try to get a perspective on impactful people in their lives and
Yeah.
who they think that they could. So like in a scenario, dead or alive,
Ooh.
3 people you would like to have dinner with from any historical era.
Damn, bro. So, well, I did my undergrad in history, so you're really sending me a deep, dark path of really thinking. Shit, that's a great question, man. But I won't lie to you. I would definitely say that athletes are not. There's not going to be a table full of athletes. If it's three
Okay.
people, I definitely want people who have had a bigger impact on life than sports. Because, well, while basketball might be my entire life, there's more to life than basketball, and there's always more to
Yeah.
life in sports. So don't let that become your entire world. Because you will have a bad week, you'll have a bad game, but there's so much more to life than that. But yeah, coming to
Yeah.
answering your question, the first would have to be Michael Jordan. That guy's a demon, man. Like
Yeah.
that guy's an absolute demon. But now the problem with that answer is that I want another madman on my table, but I said no more athletes, so I'm gonna cut it out at
Yeah.
MJ. But for those wondering,
Okay.
my answer would have been Dennis Rodman. I love that guy, but
Oh, okay.
he'll be a menace. And like I love Dennis Rodman because
Okay.
I can never be him. I could never be him. But again, he's a great example of there's method to this madness. You know,
Yeah.
like we were talking about earlier, if someone's an asshole, if they're really good, it's fine. If he parties every night and he rebounds, he gets 26 rebounds the next day, fair enough, bro. Fair enough, whatever you want. Okay, so MJ is one,
It
Michael
works. It
Jordan is one.
works.
It works,
Okay.
no problem. Michael Jordan be number one. My second one would be someone called Bismarck, who is the leader of the Third Reich in Germany back in the 1800s. This is because I was obsessed
Okay.
with studying German history in my last year of St. Andrews. And it's funny because
Okay.
the way that Otto von Bismarck, the way he was as an individual, and the German food policy of the 1800s, 1900s actually shaped the way we eat today. So it'd just be interesting to
Okay.
see his mindset towards how he ran Germany and just his whole experience because he's also a bipolar individual. So it'd be cool to have crazy personalities of like Michael Jordan, a historical figure. And
Yeah.
the third and last person would. And now I'm purposely not saying athletes just to make it harder for myself, but I
Mhm.
think this is a hard one. I mean, sorry, it's an easy one. It would have to be Taylor Swift because I would love to have dinner with Taylor Swift in any shape, form, or capacity, and then she could write a song about the dinner, and then we could sing about it forever. You know, so yeah, that's my three.
So you
Michael
really are a
Jordan.
diehard Swiftie.
Oh, absolutely, man! Like
Okay.
I will take that to my grave. Michael Jordan, Otto van Bismarck, and Taylor Swift. Those are my three.
Okay. Lovely. That's your 3 list. And with that, we shall reach the end of the episode. Vijay, it's been a lovely, lovely time having this conversation. And I hope
Of
people
course.
can take something away from it. And maybe people start tuning into your games as well. More people. I don't
Sure.
think I have that much
Absolutely.
reach. But maybe people just start tuning in through your own followers.
Hey man, even
But-
one view is amazing. Like I don't care as long as if
Yes.
you're taking out the time to watch, appreciate it.
So lovely having you, man. I hope you had a lovely time. And
Absolutely, man. Definitely did.
hopefully we have a lot more of these conversations in the future and we make this more of a
Sure.
regular thing.
Yeah,
Once Indian basketball community, we all come together and create
Hopefully.
what we want to create. So
Sure, man.
thanks for coming on, man. Please like, share, subscribe, follow on Spotify if you're listening. But yeah, these
And don't forget to
things that
comment.
and comment, yes, and please comment as well with the okay mark,
With the
so that we
okay
knew that you
pointer.
lasted
Yeah, so
most
we
of
know
the
what you're
episode.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys, and that's Buckets and Banter for you.
Yeah.